Hey guys, this is Dr. Hub. In case you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to learn and grow daily. Now we are going to move on to the layers of the cerebral cortex. So layers of the cerebral cortex. So earlier we saw the cerebellar cortex, here is the cerebral cortex. So here it includes a massive 6 layers. So let's dive into each of them. So first one is the molecular layer. Layer 1 is nothing but molecular layer. So this molecular layer, it is nothing but the superficial layer of the deep to the pia matter. So it is nothing but it is superficial to that of the superficial layer. It is deep to the pia matter, deep to pia matter. Next is the layer 2. Layer 2 is nothing but the external granular layer. So molecular layer, external granular layer, and then there's another X, that is the external pyramidal layer. The external pyramidal layer. So this external pyramidal layer, it gives rise to association in the commissural fibers. Association as well as the commissural fibers. So this is about the third layer. Next we move on to the fourth and the fifth layer. So what happens in the fourth layer? So here in the fourth layer, it is nothing but the internal granular layer. Internal granular layer. So this internal granular layer, it receives the thalamocortical fibers. So it receives the thalamocortical fibers. So it receives the thalamocortical fibers, and this is from the thalamic nuclei of the ventral layer, ventral type. So this is from the thalamic nuclei, T nuclei, from the ventral type. That is, it can be from the VPL or the VPM nuclei. So VPL stands for the ventral posterolateral as well as the ventral posteromedial nuclei. Next is in the striate cortex. So in the area number 17. So in the area number 17 of the striate cortex, it receives input from the lateral geniculate body. Lateral geniculate body is nothing but the LGB. So it receives input from the LGB, and then there is a myelinated fibers of this layer. It forms a stripe of Guéneri. Next there is a myelinated fibers. So this myelinated fibers of this layer, it forms a stripe of Guéneri. So the stripe of Guéneri. Stripe of Guéneri is nothing but the visible to the naked eye. So it's visible to the naked eye. Next is we have the internal pyramidal layer. So what is happening in the internal pyramidal layer? So in IPL, there is the internal pyramidal layer. This is nothing but the fifth in order, and this gives rise to the cerebral cortex. So corticobulbar, it gives rise to the corticobulbar. It gives rise to the corticobulbar, the corticospinal as well as the corticostriatal. Corticospinal as well as corticostriatal fibers. And it contains the giant cells of the beds. So it contains the giant cells. So there's giant cells of beds. So giant cells of beds, they are found in the motor cortex of the area 4. So they are found in the motor cortex. And this is nothing but the area 4 of the precentral gyrus and well as the anterior paracentral lobule. And this is of the precentral gyrus. This is of the precentral gyrus and the anterior paracentral lobule. Paracentral lobule. Next what we have is the multiform layer. Multiform layer. So this multiform layer, it is nothing but the sixth layer, and this is the deepest part of the cortex. So it is the deepest part of the cortex, since it is a sixth layer, and it gives rise to the projection, commissural and the association fibers. So projection, commissural as well as the association fibers. And the major source of the corticothalamic fibers. They are the major source. So they are nothing but the major source, and this is of the corticothalamic fibers. So other thing to note is the cerebrum. It has two types of layer arrangements. The cerebrum, it has two types of layer arrangements. Two types of layer arrangements. And there is a neocortex. The neocortex, it has about 6 layers. And then comes the allocortex. Allocortex, it has about 3 layers. To watch more videos like these and grow daily, subscribe to the Dr. Hub channel.